Hello, everyone. I will present on the the Shiny app. At the end of this presentation, we will have this kind of visualization using Rstudio Shiny app. So just follow the steps. How can we do the visualizations? That is an interactive visualization. For example, you can see this is interactive, giving different perspectives and also by age groups. And also this one is an interactive video. That means we can sort by age or by year, whatever we want. So just follow me, for example, 2020, and then the last is 27. So just follow the steps how to visualize the using a Shiny app. Okay, let's get started. Okay. So maybe for precaution, this course or this presentation might be for advanced or intermediate R users who have some experience on data manipulation, and the data used for this presentation is coming from the breast cancer screening from Australia Institute of Health Welfare, which is publicly available free data, but I did some data manipulation before getting the data to this presentation. So let's go to the codes and the software in detail for this presentation. So just I'll expand this one a bit. So maybe let's start by downloading some important materials. So just this is at the moment I have the clean the data and everything just to save time. But this is the codes I utilize to have the data cleaning and also getting this data ready. So I will not go in more detail about data cleaning and exploration stage, but I will just give a brief highlight. So for Shiny application visualization, we need Shiny app, Shiny package, DTs for interactive tables that we see previously, Proteus also for an interactive table, Shiny themes is for different themes, and Shiny, which gives some different options of Shiny application presentations. Color picker is to pick the different color options. We will see different of this in our this presentation, but all other components in here might be used for data manipulation. For example, if you have Stata data, you can use Heaven. If you have Excel data, you can use Reader and read Excel packages. So yeah, you can download the data, and this is also the explanations, just a brief explanation what each library and package is doing. So for example, the one I previously noticed is Shiny, which, for example, if I press this one, it will give me the different options of the Shiny app that will give us. That means how can we better present our data generally. So just we'll wait a bit, and this is just expand a bit and the different perspectives that the Shiny app will provide different options. For example, we can present like ABC, like this presentation, or we can use like this. And also just we can also like drop down menu and other options. Just have a look when you get time. So this is some of the things that we just use in this presentation. So for this data, I use the data which is available in my GitHub profile, so you can follow and get the data, and you can exercise. There is a code and data, so you can exercise this presentation at your time. So this bit is generally data importing from GitHub. And then the next is doing some data exploration, just so doing some tweaks. For example, the data for year was initially 2016, 2017 calendar year, so I just change it to the highest year 2017. And the other one is just see what is the year, and also column names for breast cancer, and also just excluding some variables which I don't need for this visualization in data presentation option. And the next one is doing some data changing from, for example, long format to wide format. I initially changed to long format with pivot longer, and then I changed it to wider format, pivot longer. Maybe I will just show you what was the initial data looks like. So the initial data was, look, there is a lot of variables, but POP is population, rate is rate of cancer screening uptake. So I just changed these variables because we have participation for 50 to 17, participation for 60, 50 to 69 for different age groups. So I initially make this one into a long, a wide data form, I mean, long data format, and then change it to a wide data format. So the final data I get from this is, I think I just press the UI, sorry. So this is the data I got. That means I have participation, population, rate, expected. This is the expected screening rate. And this is also the variable I created by quantiles into 10 different groups for my presentation options. So just back to the app. Yes, you can have a look, pivot longer and wider. That means data reshaping, technically in data manipulation process. So this bit is to do some data manipulation. And the next one is generating, for example, from rate. The rate 10 is just using a quantile presentation option. Just excluding some missing variables. For example, there are some missing variables for state, there is unknown and others. So just filtering those, excluding them from the observation. This is the good that will do that job. So let's get started with Shiny app. So with this presentation, I will aim to present different perspectives. Initially, I will present basic Shiny application presentation, and also I will also go to more advanced options of Shiny presentation, and also an interactive Shiny application, as well as non-interactive part. For example, if we need for report, not interactive part. So I will go with this in different presentation and also different visualization option. Just follow me with the process. So this is technically in Shiny app, there is a user interface and there is a server. So and also at the end of the day, there's connection with the user interface and the server. So the user interface is that is, for example, with Fluid page, we make the structure of the data, and the server is getting the outputs and everything ready. So let's just click this one, and so we'll see what does it mean. So let's expand this one a bit and just wait some minute. Just taking some time because I'm using posit option. So this is one of, for example, the input option, that means the user interface, and this is the outcome. So this is, for example, we have rate and we have by state. So if the default is Western Australia, and also as you see, the initial default was 5 to 7. And so if I change like Western New South Wales, so everything was changed, and you can hover your mouse and see what is the estimates. And also you can add, for example, women's age group. This is for 50 to 79, 74. But if we need, for example, for 50 to 69, 50 to 54, we can add and see what the outcome looks like. So yeah, just have a look. And this is the age group, and this is an interactive presentation. For example, as I started at the beginning, we can sort this one to have like by different perspectives. So this is the user interface part, and this is the output part. So just come back our code. So let's just go in more depths to get some sense. So for example, I will start from user interface. So from the user interface, for example, I have a slider layout. That means I have slider panel. That means on the left panel, I have rate group. That means slider input by rate group, and I say the default is 5 to 7. Maybe I will cancel this one, and then I just say once, I think just until it opens, just let's see what is this code will bring for us. So, yes. So in this presentation, I mean, there is, for example, rate. I have rate by group. This is the variable. And I make a default 5 and 7. That means when the initially will be showing 5 to 7 groups of rate. And also for state, the default will be Western Australia. And the state is the state variable. And I labeled select state. And also the other is age group. So I say select input and age group, women's age group. And also in this case, we can select multiple age groups. As I in the previous demonstration, there is a possible to select multiple options, but in this one, it is only unique. That means we can only select one, but we can make multiple true. So we can select even if we want many states to present. So this is one of the slider parts. So if we go here, that is what we are talking about. So we have women's age group, we have state, and we have rate group. That means, for example, 5 to 7 is the default. Western Australia is the default value as we see here. And also 50 to 74 is the default age group presented here. But for state, we selected unique, so we can only select one state at a time. And also, but for women's age, it is multiple, so we can select and see different options as we say. So it is giving an interactive, and the age group is here. And this 5 to 7, we can expand this one right to left and see what the outcome looks like. Okay. So this is the user interface part. And the main panel is the one we see the plot and the table in the presentation. Then the next one is server. So the server is technically communicating the input and output we provided in the above. That means the main panel output here, and the input is that means in the slider bar above. So we have function input and output, and then we filter data. That means filter data, and we use reactive approach. In Shiny app, there is observer and reactive approach. Reactive is we can, for example, upload the data at one time, and then you can use that, means that reactivated data per hour data. I mean, one click, for example, this will change if we change the values here, and we can use that sequentially on the same analysis. So we have reactive approach, and we have inputs. That means we have rate input, we have a state and age group, as we discussed above as a sidebar. So the breast cancer lung is our data source, and so we can now we are filtering the data for rate. That means we have 1 and 2. That means 1 is, for example, the default. That means technically 1 and 2 is we can select in twice. So this is 1 and this is 2. That's so we can select 1 and 2, but for example, status is 1. We select 1 at a time, so it will be 1. So we have say 1 and 2, and then for state we say state, and for age group we say state, because the for age group and state will have only 1 unit at observation, so we don't select more. Okay, then we have group by. That means we group by year, state, and age group. These are the input variables. So when we click these variables, then it will give us the summary. And then we'll do summarize, for example, year. This is the initial observation. And that means rate, for example, mean of rate. And we round to first digit. That means it will provide digit 1. Sometimes the year is actually we just say year as an integer. So when we say year, it doesn't provide us 2.2. For example, for year 2017, it will provide like 2070. Sometimes if we don't add this one, it may like say 2017.00, something like that. So once we have all this, then the next one is render table. So for this one, we render DT. DT is an interactive option. And then we connect with data. That means filtered data. And we cite 10 outputs. So we have now 10 outputs here. And then the download data option here. I think this might be by mistake, so it just doesn't need at this time. But we will see this one in the next version. So the next one is render plot. So we have plot. So that means we use ggplot technically. As this data frame is the filter data, so we use data. X-axis is year, y-axis is the rate, and this is the color is age group. So this is just the clarification and terms and the labels for variables, and then we connect with ggplotly, which is provides an interactive, and then we connect with Shiny app. That means user interface and server. So this is one of the basic structure of Shiny app. But now the next presentation will be more of to go with advanced options of Shiny app. So in this presentation, we will add title. That means, for example, H1. That is a title. And also, maybe I will run the code because sometimes take a bit longer. And then I will come back once until it runs. Then we can discuss what is the different. So the things we added here are, I just summarize at the top. So I added, for example, title, customized themes, also color, selection option, help, and download data. So I added all these features to get more advanced options of the visualization, and also stop and delay or triggering. For example, previously when we click something, it gives the output, but we can manage that one by saying stop or delay. That means we can technically control the output. That means we should click something to get the output. The other is also changes the state. Previously, it was the state was taking long space, so changing that into a drop down option. So this is, for example, the user interface. And from this user interface, we have heading and also using additional features. That means themes using CSS, CSS style, and also applying sidebars as previous one. And the additional features are, for example, for a state, I used select input rather than radio button. And the previous code, it was radio button. So I use select input. So that means this option will give a drop down option. And also for this one is the same. For color, I use the color input. That means a color picture is one of the importance to color, but the default color here is blue, but we can change it. We'll see later. And the other is action tabs, for example, show result. This show result is delaying and triggering of the present, and also help option, and also download data. These are the additional features compared to the previous plot. Other than that, the plot is similar, the table is similar, but the feature and more advanced options have been added. For example, for this model, for help, so I write this note. So when I press on help, I will get this note. You can write what you want notice or anything that's important to interpret the result. So the other is filtering the data. So it will be similar, filter the data, and then using reactive events to inputs and results. And then this one is almost similar with the previous code. The other differences could be, for example, on this one, I added additional features. That means, for example, copy data, download the data, CSV, Excel, PDF, or you can print directly. And so these are the table options added as additional feature. And also there is additional like download data here. So if we download the data with a file name breast cancer screening data as a CSV file, so we can use this option. That means at initially we have declared as an input download handler, so we can download the data. Then for ggplot, we follow the previous similar codes. That means using ggplot and ggplotly. And then once finished, then we connect the user interface and server with Shiny app. So let's go and have a look what is the result looks like. Yeah, as you see, it is an empty space because this is a user-controlled visualization of Shiny app. That means it will only show results when I click show result. So when I click show result, it should show the results, I believe. Yes, it is showing the result. So this is the user interface option. And now the state is coming as a drop-down menu. So these are all the status as Western Australia, default 5 and 7 as a default. And also the additional features added here are, for example, the download data, this orange color is coming with CSS file. If we go here, and see what is the color for orange. The background data for download data is orange here. So that is the one it shows in the download data, the orange. If I click this one, it directly give us, I think should be busy a bit. but it will give me to download the data or just check if it is downloaded. Um, yeah, here it is downloaded already. We have said breast cancer screening data. So it is downloaded. When we click this one, it is downloading the data automatically, this one. So that is one of the additional feature in this advanced version. And the other is an interactive one, and the states Western Australia. As we said, we can change this one a bit, but it still doesn't display until we press show. So when I say show, it presents the results. And also when I press help, it shows the data was compiled from the Australian Institute of Health Welfare data website. This is the help we write in the code. And we can change the color. This is color pointer. So if I click, for example, like red, so the table will be changed. Technically, the data, this color picker is for the table. So if I change to blue, so it will change to green. If I change black, it will change to black. So this is one of the importance of Shiny app. We can search the data here. For example, we can say 50 to 69. So it's coming here 50 to 69, or we can sort the data by age, yes, or by rate, yes. We can sort, for example, 50.4 or 55.2. So this is an interactive and also presenting different options. We can download and upload the data here. There is an additional options for example, we can say next and see the next results here as well in the top down for the tables. And for tables, we can download PDFs. Yes, for example, if I click PDF, so it is downloading the PDF file, I believe. Yes. So it is downloading the PDF file for the tables only, actually. It is coming anyways. And if I want to also download this file, I can click this camera button. So it is downloading as a PNG file. So if I come here, yes, this is the screenshot of the table, the visualization. And also we can edit also on the visualization. There is a lot of, for example, we can zoom in or zoom out, or we can expand a bit. And also we can add different areas. Also, we can, for example, if we are interested on certain portions, for example, this one, we can also see only the selected options. For example, if we are interested on this one, we can only view the selected sections rather than the whole section. So it is very flexible, and the users can interact with the table, or they can generate whatever they want, or they can copy the data, they can download the table, and they can, for example, use this result for their meeting or for any other purpose, for evidence-based decision making. So this is the one of the advanced features of data. For example, having all these features. Also, the title is coming, like, for example, breast cancer screening uptake. And we can change the tables if we need with different status. And also, we can sort the data. We can see different areas. So this is one of the options for Shiny application. So I can delete this one. The next presentation will be about, let's see what's coming. Presentation input and outputs as a column. For example, at the before we see as in one window, that might be a little bit congested. So if we want to see in different columns, That means the input and output in different columns. So there is an option to do that. And for doing that, we use a tab stat panel. That means it presents the user interface will change into tab set panel. So this tab set panel changes the user interface. That means the age, the state, and others into, I mean, inputs in one column and outputs in the other column. Let's see what's going on here. As I said, it is this is user control. So we will see the result when we say press show result. So we have inputs. That means the input column. We have plots here, and also we have tables here. So just taking a bit of time, but it's coming. So as we say, there is the other functions are similar, but the way we present is, it may be we can present in one window or we can present in different windows using a column option. So this code is technically similar with the previous one, but we will change this one to tabs panel and tab panel to have the output and inputs in different options. Others are almost tab panel. So we say in tab panel, we have plot and also table and also the yeah, just follow this code for the tab panel. So that is the code that gives the user info. Otherwise, the server and the maybe the other thing I want to explain is observant and reactive in Shiny app. So for example, for this one, I have observant event. That means the help function. Technically, the help function is it is written one time and it is just gives response when we click, but it doesn't change when we change the data input or outputs. So that is the observer function. So we can dismiss this one and see what's going on. So let's keep working and just I will delete this one. And let's see another presentation options. So the next presentation option is, for example, if we are interested with non-interactive options, that means previously we see different options for interactive application. That means when we hover or it just gives us responding, but sometimes we may also need non-interactive presentation options for different, for example, for report or for any other. So this one is not interactive. We cannot see anything. So this is, for example, if we use for report or for any other purpose, and if you don't want to the interactive option. So this is the other option that presents the interactive, non-interactive presentation option. So for non-interactive presentation in the code, for example, we use technically which is from the output. So for the output, we use for example, for tables, we use render data table rather than DT table, and for the plot option, we use render plot. So technically, we use render plot and not plotly. As previously, we use plotly here, but now we are using plot, not ly here. And also, if you see the ggplot, there is no ggplotly as previous one, there was an additional column ggplotly here to have an interactive plot. So this is other things are almost similar. And for this one, we use render table, data table. So it gives non-interactive tables and plots. So for non-interactive presentation option, technically we use render table, render plot, rather than the DT and the plotly function. But other things are almost they are similar. The other Shiny application option is, for example, non-interactive Shiny app option. Inputs and outputs are in different windows. Previously, we look for example, we have an input function here, and the output functions both are in one window. So we will see plotly, I mean, this function in different windows. So just delete this one. And this is non-interactive, and the outputs will be in different windows. So let's come back and see what is. So technically for this, we will use tab stat rather than slider panel. So we have, for example, tab panel for the tables, and we have tab panel for the plots, and for that means the main panel. And also for the inputs here, we have tab panel, and tab panel title is input. So we connect the title, all these inputs as a title inputs will be, so we have one tab panel, that means input, and then the other two panels, tab panel 2 for plot and tab panel 3 for table. The title is table and the title is plot. And this plot and table are the output functions we declared as a main outcomes. That means this one, I think somewhere in the above, or should be somewhere below. Okay. Yeah, so let's see what's going on here. So we have plots and tables. As I previously said, this is non-interactive user-controlled option. So it will give a result when we press this button. And we can also change the color. For example, if we say green, we can make green, and we can select the states as well, different colors. And we can also change, for example, from default New South Wales, Western Australia to New South Wales. We can also change the slide bar. So if we go here, I think we need to see the results in the plot. Yep, here is a plot. It's not interactive, just having different colors. And for the table as well, this is the outputs for the table by different categories. It is not interactive. There is no search. There is no sort options, as we discussed previously. So this is a little bit in brief about Shiny. I hope you have get something and enjoyed the presentation. Please, you can contact me if you need more additional insights or inputs about this application. You can get the code in the my GitHub address, and you can exercise. The data is also publicly available and it's free, so you can also exercise at your own time. But one thing I want to clarify and emphasize is usually in a visualization, it is a group work and needs a lot of discussion with consumers and yourself, and also presenting different visualization options. For example, as I presented in different perspectives here, will be important for decision makers, and also presenting different choices so they can choose their preference, and dealing their preferences intentions will be important. I hope you have enjoyed this presentation. Thank you so much. Bye.